Hey everybody, Kyle here with TheCardGuyz, joined with Alex and Josh. Before they get into the commentary, I just want to let everyone know, I hope you're having such a great evening, or whenever you're watching this video. If you guys wouldn't mind checking out our Patreon down in the description below, we're doing quite a bit of content over there. Hopefully we can help you become a better player. And yeah, we've got Fab League week 4, or week 5. Is this week 5 now?
It's week 5.
Week 5, match 4, currently up 2-1. We got a Viserai mirror. It's the last 2 Crawford Viserai. You guys, take it away.
Hey.
Right. Alex and I are in the commentary booth.
Yeah.
This is a match that both of these players should be very, very familiar with. And this is going to be the final match where we see Viserai in its current form. You can see they both have blood-cheese skeletons. So this match is basically, one last hurrah for both these players.
Absolutely. And before we started the video, we talked about how they're both using Vexing Quill Hand, which is pretty much one of the only things that changes from match to match when you're playing a Viserai mirror match in the equipment slot. There is an argument for using Grasp of the Arknight if you go first to filter your hand, create a rune chant, just get that little extra edge on turn 1. It also provides some block throughout the match, which can be valuable. But Vexing Quill Hand, when you're going second, it's typically the better arm piece in the matchup, just for that extra rune chant generation and the fact that it has some arcane barrier on it, which is really relevant in the matchup if you have some bad hands and you want to block optimally. So yeah, we're seeing Nathan get us started here.
Yeah, so we saw Randy, the player, the blue player, have a very, very weak turn 1. He just generated a rune chant and then I don't even know if he generated a rune chant.
No rune chant. Yep, he just arsenaled.
Which is as bad a start as it gets. And
Yes.
Now Nathan gets to attack into him with tempo. This is likely 5 go again with the Rosetta coming on the end here.
Looks like it. Cool thing about that Oath of the Arknight that he played as well. A lot of people don't know that card actually affects Rosetta Thorn as well, so it will give a plus buff to the Rosetta Thorn, which can be pretty relevant.
Yeah. That turns that Oath of the Arknight into a blue. Well, it's not a card you really want to play, but
right.
I mean, it did turn on the Rosetta Thorn. It did create a rune chant.
Right.
It did
as far as
the Rosetta Thorn by 1. It
right.
could be worse.
As far as blue 3 blocks go, there are much worse options.
Yep.
But like I was talking about with that Grasp, if he had been playing the Grasp, he would have that block at this moment, and he would also have a rune chant and have had an opportunity to filter his hand a little bit, making his first couple of turns slightly better. So that's really the only argument there. But really having this Rosetta Thorn come in for 5 damage instead of 4, these matchups, these Viserai mirror matches are extremely tight. So every damage counts. His opponent giving him a lot of armor here on turn 1.
I know they didn't forget. Okay, but that's a lot of armor to be given for no particular reason, I guess.
Oh wow.
So this is what he intends to do. Okay.
So we've got. I mean, there's for sure got to be like Sonata Skeleton or something. I don't know. Something's coming out. Is he going for Skeleton immediately?
All right. So we're basically seeing a blitz combo here.
Oof. This is a blitz combo.
So I think I've died in this exact same way, but Nathan won't die at 40 life here.
Yeah, not at 40 life. With him having Quill Hand too, so he can block a lot of the rune chant damage.
I think if you draw the nuts as this, like you can yeah.
This is interesting.
This
a lot of times if you try to go off this early, it can actually come back to bite you in the butt. But
yeah, because you aren't actually finishing the match.
Right.
Like, I mean, this combination of cards is really, 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 really good. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So X is.
Let's see. He had 7 rune chants. So 6x would be 3, yeah.
Okay, perfect split. All reds.
Oh, wow.
And the Gloomveil will have go again.
If he doesn't have a
And-
blue in his hand, he's not going to be able to play those other 2 cards.
Yep.
Oh, actually, sorry. Skeleton gives the buff to the first one, or the...
Yes, and he still has the Mob Skies buff.
Right.
So you can play them out and then Arsenal 1. I mean, it's
Here's
not that bad.
here's also another step of the combo that Spellbound Creepers needs you to have. You know what that is, right, Josh? A non-attack action, which he does not have because he cannot pitch and play a non-attack action for Spellbound Creepers. So this will be the only... the Mob Skies is going to give this go again, but
Right.
he's not going to be able to perform the combo optimally.
Yep. So it's just going to be Spellblade Assault, Swarming Gloomveil, pitch into Rosetta Thorn Arsenal,
right?
Amplify, I'm guessing.
Right.
And then he'll end his turn with no rune chance.
Right. And if you're in Josh's seat here,
Nathan's
seat, sorry, you're gonna be on blocking duty this turn. Just try to keep your life total really high, and now you have more resources than your opponent. But Nathan's telling me that he might actually have combo to come back at him with now as well. So Rune Flash. He's prioritizing the Rune Flash, I guess, to generate a couple more rune chants instead of swinging that Rosetta Thorn.
Oh, Rune Flash has go again, but
Yep.
he could always pitch the Amplify, which is probably worth it.
Oh, the Amplify is still in his hand. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Actually, is that worth it? Because then you end with no rune chance.
Well, the Amplify is going to be free if you hang on to it, so there's an argument to hang on to it here. Basically free, I should say.
So here we're seeing absolute insanity here.
Yeah.
This is basically how I died in Blitz. Yeah, like
this is really
Randy
incredible.
started with 0 rune chance in play.
Yeah.
At the start of this.
Yep.
Nathan has blocked for 7 this turn and is still at 18.
Yep.
That means he did 29 damage this turn.
Pretty insane. So do you think the skeleton ban was warranted?
Yes, it definitely was.
Did that prove a point? So Nathan's just gonna block, and try to OTK his opponent now.
Yep.
That's probably the position he's in. The good thing is his opponent has basically no armor block left. And Nathan has access to 2 extra rune chants plus arcane barrier at any moment, and his opponent busting his quick hand first means that he has no arcane barrier when Nathan decides to combo. So if Nathan can keep his life total above 1 life, or above 0 life for the rest of the game here, and then get a combo off, then it's probably going to be over, especially with his opponent already having taken 7 damage.
So post combo, still having the creepers means your hands, the clunkiness of your hands is kind of limited, right? You're not totally messed up by... Like, what would be an example of a bad hand that Creepers couldn't fix? Like 4 attacks, right?
4 attacks or 3 attacks plus rune chant generation card. Pretty much anything that... there's a lot of attacks in the deck, and as you'll see, he burnt quite a few of those good non-attack actions on that first turn there. They do play a lot of them, but there are plenty of hands that you don't have a whole lot to do with. You can draw some of the blue attacks with some of the non-attack actions that you can't do a whole lot with. There are hands that just don't work very well. Ninth Blade is one of those cards that doesn't do a whole lot. Wow, Nathan not blocking here means he's about to go off.
Yep. And so he's going to go off with 4 rune chants.
Ooh, and he has the Mordred too.
I'm surprised these guys aren't using these Scar for Scar playmat.
Oh, he's not going way off,
He's
but
not going way off, but he's utilizing his hand, I guess.
yeah. And if his opponent doesn't block here, the Spellblade Assault, it produces 3 regardless of whether he blocks or not. But the Yellow Movsky is going to produce another 3 if he doesn't block this successfully.
Do you think that's a Sonata in the arsenal?
It very, very well could be.
So
Either that or a Become.
So if you assume that's a Sonata, this becomes a must block, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your opponent's at 7 life. You just need to efficiently block now. Give him, I mean, I wouldn't give him the creepers, but I would definitely give him 2 cards out of my hand while he's at 7 life, and you can just keep pressuring his life total. I'm really, really surprised that Nathan didn't. Well, I guess if he's going to go off next turn, I'm really surprised that he didn't break the Quill Hand here to get that extra rune chant generation
Oh, he can do it.
from the Mordred Tide.
Do it.
I guess you can do it. You can do it now. So he might actually
breaking the combat chain does not. I mean, breaking Quill Hand tells him you have Sonata. Right now, it's not confirmed, right?
Right.
So it's like you might, and breaking the combat chain doesn't matter here.
Right. I forget that he had go again there.
Mm-hmm.
I forget that he had go again.
Hmm.
Let's see. Opponent just taking the damage, which is making that combo.
He took the rune chant damage. You can't do anything about it.
That's right. He doesn't have the ability to block rune chants anymore. Spellblade Assault coming in for 4 here. Oh, he's taking the 4, which is going to put him up to 8 rune chants. Quill Hand would put. Oh my goodness gracious.
Okay.
15 unblockable. Actually, 17 unblockable, basically. You can use this.
Nuts.
No, he's not going to get low enough to use Skull Cap in time. So yeah, this is 17 unblockable, which is going to put him to 6, and then he's going to have to deal with two physical damage, which explains why he didn't break the Quill Hand here, because he's going to need to block some arcane next turn, most likely. You think his opponent's regretting not blocking that, not blocking there?
No.
I don't know.
I mean, 7 means you can.
Oh, yeah. He could still just die here.
Yeah.
This is a really strange mirror match. I have not seen a mirror match go off this fast. That's going to be 6 and 2, I believe. Making 1 on the backside. So at minimum here, he's representing 8 plus 4 plus 1. So 13 damage. One of those blues is going to be on blocking duty for sure. This is going to be very, very interesting because he's got to find a way to block enough to stay alive, but also pressure his opponent's 5 life he has left. And a very, very interesting to note, Josh, that Vexing Quill Hand means his opponent is technically at 3 life. So just got to be able to do 3 arcane damage somehow, essentially.
As long as the skull cap is turned off.
Right, but he's going to have to pitch a blue to stop 1 rune chant, which at that point in the game, he's probably going to win. Nathan has, let's see, 1, 2, 3 armor block left, I believe, optimally. 2 convenient armor block. He has a couple 3. Yeah, this is going to be a weird math problem. We don't know his hand, so it's impossible for us to try to figure this out. But I would imagine If his opponent has like a Revel in Runeblood or something like that in his hand, this game is probably over. The Revel is just too powerful. Probably gonna take some damage here to go to 4 so that he can use that Skullcat block.
Seems reasonable. So ideally, he wants to end the turn here with one health.
This is worst case scenario for Nathan.
Yeah, he's gonna find a go again. Yep.
This is worst case scenario. I think he's dead. This is going to be 4 and 2, making another one on the backside. He's still got to deal with a Rosetta Thorn, which is 2, 2, and 1. Assuming that his hand isn't another attack. Block one of the rune chants here, go to 3. He can full block with Skullcat plus a 3 block from hand or creepers. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's creepers in the Garganian Tome. Interesting play there. I don't think I've ever seen a creepers Garganian Tome before.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, he's conceding the match then, I believe. Because the Rosetta Thorn kills him, I believe? Or does it not?
No, it'll put him... yeah, it's exactly lethal.
Is he... 3, 4...
Rosetta's
5, he has...
Rosetta's 2/2/1, right? So
yeah,
the
it should
Skeletal will be blocking for 1. And, yeah.
could be lethal.
Yep.
I mean, well, actually,
he has one floating.
He still has one floating. Okay, never mind. I guess he survives at 1.
Yeah, which is there's no coming back from that.
But it just depends on also what's in his opponent's hand here. If there's any way for him to push anything more through. Oh wait, he didn't actually block with the creepers there, so he actually has 2 armor block. Right?
Does Mordred Tide block for 3?
Yes.
It does, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So he actually, yeah, okay, so he's surviving for a fight.
Yeah, him putting the creepers up there made me think that he had blocked with it, but
yeah, I thought he
actually has
was
2 armor
block for 2, but no.
No.
So why is he taking so long to think? You just put your opponent at 2, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here.
Or does he think that?
Oh my goodness gracious! Why did he think about that?
Okay, so yeah, I think it's well.
Hold on.
There's some argument to be made that you want to play a 5-card hand with it, right?
Kept his Bloodsheath Skeleton block. Goes to 1. He had double swarming in hand. Ah, that's interesting. Or not double swarming in hand, but he had the rattle bones plus it. But, huh?
So this has to be like.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, if he pitches into this and hits 2 cards.
Game's
well, no, because he can block with Skullcap, right?
Yes, technically yes.
Yeah, as long as his opponent keeps swinging with Rosetta Thorn, that's gonna be game. What a weird game. I've legitimately, in all my Viserai matches that I've seen, I've never seen anything as fast as this one. More cards coming. One hit, which is a huge blessing for Nathan.
Yeah,
Ooh, a yellow Viserai. You think he doesn't have the blue, or is he trying to bluff not having the blue?
It's very, very possible he doesn't have the blue, or he can't use the Mauve Skies anyway, and it only blocks for 2 anyways. Might as well send it into the deck, have some bluffing power.
This one does not have go again currently. He has
Creeper's
two.
still available.
Yeah, he has 2 floating still though. He has something to do with this creepers. This is over. Oh my golly Moses.
Please.
Oh my gosh, his opponent drew so good.
Yep.
Wow.
GG.
GG.
All right, and so that ties up the series 2-2. And actually, I was informed by my opponent that he had something come up with his fiance, so he can't play his match tonight, but he can play later in the morning apparently. So I will just figure out a way to privately schedule that match.
Okay. That's fine.
So we'll just leave this kind of as a cliffhanger, I guess.
Yeah.
What up?
Well, not much to say about that one, Nathan. Revel in Rune Blood is a card.
Yeah, I did the
Mordred.
best. I played it perfectly as good as it could.
Yep. There's not
You know-
much you could have done there.
Your opponent did 29 damage with 0 rune chance on board. This
Yep.
is why it's banned
Yep.
in Blitz.
Yeah, that's why a lot of the best players, if this didn't get hit, were refusing to bring Viserai, because like even the high end plays during that game, like creepersing in the Gorg Tome with the 1 float to get a card I could block with, like that's a fairly high level play that a lot of people wouldn't do.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't matter, because it's whoever can get the value off of a good Sonata just wins.
I mean, once your
Yeah.
opponent did it on his turn 1.
That's
Right,
how the
exactly.
mirror goes sometimes.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody in a CC match go off on turn 1.
Right. Yep. And so all the skill in the world can just, I mean,
throw that
doesn't
shit
do
out the
you any
window.
good, unfortunately. But I mean, that's just, that's the nature of some matchups.
Yeah.
And now maybe an argument could have been made. It was slightly inefficient for me to play the Become the Art Knight into the Read the Runes, because that could have prevented 6 damage and it only made 4 rune chance, which effectively did nothing because it didn't discount anything. However, I realized since I was so far behind in the game, my only chance at winning was the Revel in Rune Blood Sonata play. And so basically I was just banking on I'll make 4 rune chance and pray I draw Sonata. And
Yeah, I was
did.
wondering at the point where you had made 4 rune chance, I think you were at like 18 life or something like that after you comboed. I was thinking maybe you were just going to be on blocking duty like a normal OTK kind of style, and just see if you can build up to 10 to 12 rune chance before you try to go off on him and just survive until then. I wasn't sure. You went off like to a point where you basically got your life totals even, but he got to keep his hand.
yeah.
So you are going to be disadvantaged even after such a great play.
Yep.
And I was thinking maybe you should have sat back and blocked and given yourself at least a chance to, like, if his hands weren't, crazy good the rest of the game, you could just block and draw some of those rune chant generation cards and try to stay alive long enough to get to a point where you can combo off and actually threaten his life total to 0.
Well, the hand that I used, it was pure gas because I had the Mordred, the on hit.
Absolutely.
I mean, I returned 25 on it.
Right. But my point being that you returned enough to get your life totals basically even, but he didn't have to exhaust his hand at all to get
Correct. But if I would have sat back at 15 life, by the
You're-
time I would have gotten the Sonata, I wouldn't have had the health to have a good turn with it.
there. Yeah.
And that's why, you know, when you get down to that health range, you know, sub 15, sonating, you know, with 2 cards in hand is definitely not optimal, because then it's all dependent on, 1, how good your Sonata is, and 2, what card you get off of the Sonata.
Right.
Are really important. So I that was too much of a risk for me.
Yeah.
So I had a hand that was gas, and he was disincentivized to block, which I predicted correctly. He took the Mavrine damage and gave me more rune chance. So I was like, okay, this is probably going to be effectively 25, 29 damage, and so I just pushed it to try to even it up. And if he would have drawn dead on one of the turns and not gotten his other Sonata, I actually could have won, because I still had Vexing, and I could have Vexing into
Oh yeah, we
Sonata
knew.
and just
We knew
killed him with.
his life total was effectively at 3 because you had him at
Right.
5 with the Vexing on board.
Right.
And so you really didn't need much to kill him, but his hands,
Right.
unfortunately,
He never had a bad one. Yeah.
or lead the charge into the Rattlebones. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's sometimes it's like that, and
yeah. Pretty good.
But
But it is what it is.
it is what it is.